Welcome to another edition of the All Sports Matters podcast. I am your host this week, Amir Sharaz Ortiz, aka Poppy Ortiz 02. And I am here with my brothers in crime this week. Trust me, he's not singing back up to nobody. He ain't singing back up to me, but he is singing nonetheless, Mr. Robbie Pendergrass. Say what's up.
What is going on? What is going on? Good to see everybody for sure.
Also, we have on this edition, like always, Mr. Two Belts. This is where I'm going to stay with Two Belts. And let's hope as fantasy football players, he stays with Mr. Two Belts. Oh boy, Mr. Two Belts, Flectron Moore.
Oh yeah, and a ring.
And a ring.
Let's not forget
blah, blah, blah. I didn't get a ring. I got offered a toiletry napkin when I won a championship.
Yeah. Tito with the tampon.
Yeah. Talking about it was signed by Ric Flair himself. I don't think, first off, Ric Flair is not his real name. And I'm pretty sure he just found some random white guy on the side of the road and said, here, sign here. Because we're going to need a title for fantasy football. As chaotic as that sounds, we're going to drum up some chaos ourselves. No, we're not on the level of Kanye and Antonio Brown. Ooh, but chaos in the sense of the Rose Bowl starting off once again, which we thought they would. But what we didn't see coming was they were signing off on a 12-team playoff starting in 2024. I'm going to pause for dramatic effect. And I'm already going to say that's as chaotic as that sounds. What do you guys, Rob, help me out here. Help me understand how does 12 teams make it into a playoff?
People have been calling for this playoff for how long now? Because they had gotten tired of the BCS when the SEC was rolling through, always seeming to be in the BCS championship game. So then we moved to the 4-team concept. So everybody was like, this is it. This is the way to go. We're going to do it like this. We have 4 teams. It's going to be even. And it's still rolling along the same way, but you still get the same players. The same teams. So here we go. Now people like, well, this isn't enough. Let's go to 8 teams. Rumbling was there for 8, and then all of a sudden it pops up to 12. 12?
Let me ask you this. I didn't mean to cut you off. Is this a way to ensure that Alabama gets in, considering the season they had?
This is the Alabama Invitational from now on. I can tell you that right now. This is the Alabama Invitational. We are in there, baby. We are in there. So Georgia too. You might well pencil in 2 teams already. Georgia, Alabama, you might well pencil them in. And you're probably going to be able to pencil in Ohio State, Clemson. On the years when Florida comes back.
Let me ask you, Flex. Obviously, it gives a better chance for your Gators to get in.
Yeah,
for the upcoming.
Not by 2024, they won't.
So, do you want to see the 12-team playoffs started this season, right? Tulane will be number 12. Now I'm gonna pause because I don't think anybody knows where Tulane plays, like what conference.
Oh,
but they're number 12. Do you guys want to see Tulane in a playoff?
I do. I'm okay with that because it's outside of what I don't want to see the same 12 teams every year. Like we see basically the same 4 or some combination of every year. I'm not a fan of 12. I thought maybe 6, 8 at the most.
8 was
would be that sweet spot. But
yep.
I mean, 12. Playing devil's advocate here. 12 gives us a chance to see more diversity, I guess.
Well,
I don't think we're going to get the same 12 teams every year.
Right. For years, we it was talked about that these college teams couldn't even play during the middle of December because of finals and then the holidays, and it was illegal, because that's what was drawn up. They can't even practice for the bowl games up until the week of the bowl game. Mm-hmm. So you guys are the college aficionados. What's going on now that allows them to jump from 2 to 4 to 12? And then, because we know the bowl games is going to happen mid-December, the first round, because you still going to have your New Year's bowl games. You're still going to have your championship game the second week of January. So for this timeline to work, the schedule is going to have to start. This tournament is going to start mid-December. Is that what you guys want to see?
I didn't want to see 12, so
I didn't want to see 12 either.
I haven't even thought about the ramifications of when a tournament would start. But I think the NCAA is feeling the pressure from the college football powers to make this happen, or otherwise they're going to break away from them. I honestly feel that that's where that was coming to. Could be wrong, just me speculating. Coming from the warped mind of Mr. Two Belts. But I honestly think that that's what happened. Hey, you either make this happen or we're going to separate and do our own thing.
Okay, so here's one I guess a caveat to the structure. They said, and I guess one thing that was agreed upon was the 6 major conferences champions will get in as long as they're ranked. Mm-hmm. That was one thing that was agreed upon. Now, I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing a Kansas State who can beat an undefeated TCU can make the playoffs. A 3-loss Kansas State to a 2-loss Kansas State team. But I guess that's what they're trying to make sure everybody knows what's going on. If you win your conference championship and you are ranked, you're automatically in this playoff.
Right.
Somebody just commented, Dylan, he said, either way, college football is taking a good step forward. I want him to elaborate on that while
please.
Because for me, I wasn't a fan of the 12 teams. For me, that's too much. What the heck?
What did that come from? Who was that?
Are you at this point? We're the only ones that can see that. Are you
right.
Are you know what I'm saying? Are you taken away from the regular season at this point by having 12 teams? That's the thing with me for college that I love so much is that every game matters.
Yep.
In the regular season. Every game matters.
This was the first time
with 12 teams.
So this is the first time that it's been discussed that a two-loss team can make it to a 14 playoff, right? It was the first time they say if LSU runs the table, they're in, or they would have been in. And if TCU and USC loses, a 2-loss Alabama team can make the playoff.
So
obviously that ends that conversation,
but
right?
I still don't think Alabama's in.
I'm saying that ends that conversation now because I'm pretty sure we're going to see a bunch of 2-loss teams make this college playoff.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the 12 team?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You might see
some 3-loss teams, which goes back to what I was saying that, what does the regular season mean at this point, though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can go, 9-3, be ranked 24, win your conference, you're automatically in.
And you're in.
Ranked,
so that means something, though.
To who, though?
Yeah.
Well, it means something to get in the playoffs. If they're telling you have to win your conference championship and you have to stay ranked, that means the regular season still means something, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because on that same token, Tulane can go 9-3, win their conference, and probably wouldn't be ranked.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's
now, did they mean Power 5 conference? When
they said the top 6.
Yeah,
the announcement said the top 6 conferences.
It's the
I don't know
Power
what
5
those conferences are.
It's the Power 5 and then the top ranked out of the group of 5. From what I understood, I could be wrong, but that's what I understood.
They use the term top 6 conferences, conference champions.
Right.
So I don't know what that 6th conference is going to be. I'm pretty sure they're going to add a 6th.
It's going to be the Power 5.
A major 5, so now it's going to be a major 6.
Now it's going to be the Power 5. The Big 12, Big 10, SEC, ACC,
ACC.
Pac-10.
And I was going to say
12,
that. I think
20, how many ever they
said it
are right now.
The
And then
AAC
the
will
highest
probably
ranked
be
group
that
of five.
sixth.
Would
Huh?
it be
The AAC will probably be that sixth conference. They said
What about
six
Conference
conferences.
USA?
Conference USA or what is the Sun Belt?
They specifically
Conference?
said six conferences.
Right.
Six
That's what I'm
conference
saying.
championships going to make it.
But you know that means the Power Five, and then like it is now, you know how the highest ranked Group of 5 team gets a New Year's Day bowl or a January
Right.
1st bowl or whatever. It's gonna be something like that. I guarantee it.
So
I
we
could be
should
wrong.
know come next year which conference will step up and be part of the discussion. We should know more coming forward. Obviously, this is new to us. This happens in the last couple of days. Speaking of new to us and staying on top of this conversation, Michigan beating Ohio State the way they did.
Pummel.
That was not
I didn't see that one.
predicted by anybody. Maybe
No,
a Michigan win, maybe, but not a Michigan blowout win.
Yeah, I didn't see them winning by 3 on the road, 3 touchdowns on the road.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
In a hostile, Columbus.
With their running back hurt and their second string running back playing with a hurt hand.
And he went off.
And he went ballistic.
I mean, but he was able to go off because Michigan was able to pass the ball.
Yes, they were.
I think that's what shocked Ohio State, because Michigan has been a pounded run first team all year, and then all of a sudden, I can't remember the dude's name.
The quarterback?
McNamara? No, McNamara's the one that
got hurt.
Transferred out, right?
Yeah, that's the one that left.
No, it's not McNamara.
Yeah, I can't even remember his name. Somebody help me out. I can't remember his name. But yeah, I mean McCarthy, JJ McCarthy. But yeah, with him coming out passing the ball like they did, I think that took Ohio State, because Ohio State was loading the box up for the run the entire first half. They was loading the box up for the run. They were not going to get beat by the run, and McCarthy put it on his shoulder and beat him.
He just carried it. He played out of his mind in that first half. It was great gameplay.
So with Ohio State taking that particular loss, we can write them out. But how does this affect CJ Stroud going forward?
As far as what?
Like the Heisman, or are you talking about draft?
Obviously, it hurt his Heisman chances.
Yeah, he's not going to win the Heisman. I don't think
him going towards the draft. We're assuming.
I don't think it hurts his draft stock.
The only thing about it, he's going to have to show that he can win in the big situations, and that's the biggest of situations for them every year. And he's 0-2.
I don't think it hurts his draft stock though.
He'll still go top 10.
He has to. I think what hurts him more is the Ohio State quarterback,
stigma.
The Cardale Jones and
the Terrell Pryor.
That grouping.
You know what I mean? So I think that right there hurts him more than that Michigan loss. I think he'll be all right though. I think he's still. I don't think it's gonna.
A comment was just made that
one of the top 2. He's gonna be one of the top 2 quarterbacks.
Better than Stroud. I don't necessarily agree with that one.
That's a matter.
But since we talk about the Heisman, is Caleb Williams the favorite at this point?
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's mine.
He's my favorite. After he's my favorite. After the performance he had against Notre Dame, he's my favorite.
Yeah,
I had to throw that Notre Dame dig.
I think he locked it up in that game.
I had to throw that Notre Dame dig in there.
So this year, and I'm not wasting time, because this is really one conversation that ties into the rest of them. Since we're talking about Stroud, we're talking about Bryce Young, we're talking about that kid from Kentucky who just announced he's going in.
Levis.
Those are the top 3 quarterbacks going in the draft. Like, where do you rank these quarterbacks going? And I'm pretty sure I'm missing 2 more. This is a very heavy quarterback.
Right now, if I was a team and I'm looking at quarterback and I had to rank, just going off the top 3, there he is.
There you go.
Coming to work, sir.
Your boy done made it in.
Thank you for coming to work, sir.
Well, you know,
if I had to rank those three, though, I mean, we're ranking just those three, right?
Right.
Yeah, unless I'm missing, you guys are more than I am in college, but I think so.
I'm going Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Levis.
Yeah.
Is it Will Greer or something like that, right? Kentucky, right?
Will Levis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I go with those.
I saw that yesterday. He was going in.
And as a matter of fact, I would take
Mr. Marcus Betts. We are in college, sir. I'm gonna need you to wait your turn, just like you've been waiting for the last 27 years for a Cowboys championship, sir.
I think that's what he means. College Player of the Year. I guess that's what he's talking about.
Maybe that's what he meant.
He's talking. He's in the NFL.
Player of the Year.
CPOY. What's CPOY?
Levis. I would flip Levis and have Levis at number 2
over Stroud.
I put him over Stroud. Honestly, I like Levis. I think he's going to be a hell of a
top
NFL
3 college NFL teams. I guess a perfect segue to that. Texans is picking number 1. So they're the Texans. They pick Bryce Young.
I would.
I would think so.
Just because I ranked them the way I did, I still don't think Bryce Young is going to be the first quarterback taken. And I may get crucified for that one.
Who do you think is going to be number 1?
I think CJ Stroud is going to be the first one. Not that I would.
But you don't think that stigma, like you said earlier, you don't think that stigma of Ohio State quarterbacks?
No, I do. But like I said, it's not me. It's, you know what I'm saying, based off of, you know, some of the things that you're hearing. And, you know, like we're not in the know. But, you know, I read. And, you know, it seems
Mr.
like
Robbie
most
Pendergrass
are more higher on.
Let me ask you, Mr. Rob. Since Bryce Young is currently your quarterback, where do you put him in the essence of the other quarterbacks?
I always have him number 1. So I mean, he's a gamer. I mean, the kid is clutch. He plays tough. He never is frazzled in the pocket. I would take him number 1. And I think the other reason why I think the Texans might look at taking him is because he has that great chemistry with John Mechie. Hopefully he comes back from his leukemia, and they build from that and, you know, try to get going in the right direction. So I think I would take him first, and then whatever team needs a quarterback, I'd take Levitt second, because kid's tough. He's tough. And then Stroud, you know, honestly, I would love to see how they look at the combine between Stroud and Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams not coming out. He's not
coming out.
He's not coming out this year.
No, he's not coming out.
No, he's not.
Okay, so yeah, I would love to see how Stroud performs at the combine.
Let me ask you this real quick, Rob, because you the Alabama guy. How well do Alabama quarterbacks do when they play on Sundays?
Well, right now we got 2 extremely tough ones playing right now between Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. So it's kind of hard to say, you know, that they don't do
that down quick.
I'm just asking, but before those 2,
I mean, yeah,
Alabama was known for putting in running backs, right?
Hold on. But Jalen Hurts in Oklahoma, though? Do they get credit?
Jalen Hurts was in Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, Oklahoma is a sub-parent of it, so we'll let them.
They get a little bit of credit. Not Alabama. I give you 2 of them.
Hey, look. So no, because Jalen Hurts for me is Alabama. He went to Oklahoma for a year. He was at Alabama for what, 2, 3?
But why did he go to Oklahoma? He went to Oklahoma because he wasn't playing.
Because he got paid.
Tua took his job.
Exactly. So if he wasn't playing, you can't get the credit. You ain't playing.
I'm gonna say this. Whenever you see Jalen at press conference, you will see he will either have on Alabama apparel or he's saying Roll Tide. That's all I'm saying.
He said, "Forget Mac Jones."
We're forgetting Mac Jones.
And that's the other one.
We're forgetting Mac Jones.
He's having a little problem right now.
Hold on. Let me add.
We're forgetting Mac Jones right now.
Bess brought up a good point, and let me add, Mr. The run game is shitty. Sorry to say that. We need a pass. He's the one that said it, not me. I'm quoting him.
You must have seemed to have forgotten as well. The 2 leading running backs in the NFL right now are Josh Jacobs and King Henry. So again, I state, I don't understand where you're going, sir.
That the running backs are
So,
overrated.
obviously,
And that's why I'm not
obviously it's open
touching. I'm
season.
not touching
It's
anything about
open
Alabama.
season on Alabama athletes and their professional careers. But okay, so let me meet both of you guys halfway. Rob and who was that? Dylan, right?
Who?
No, that was
Alabama
Tremaine.
running backs.
That was
Tremaine.
Tremaine.
Let me meet you guys halfway. What is going on with Najee Harris this year?
He's injured. He's injured. He's been injured most of the season.
I don't think it's
And then on top of that, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line is not the same Pittsburgh Steelers line we have seen in the past. Not to mention they don't have a quarterback.
Exactly. It's not that they don't have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback that's threatening enough.
A threatening quarterback. Let's do that.
He's not that quarterback yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He could, because he very well could turn into a solid quarterback.
He
But
really
he's
could.
not that yet. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he
He's
just
still
hasn't
a
reached
rookie.
that peak
You know
yet.
what I'm saying?
Because they have the
And he-
pieces.
Yeah.
They have the pieces. They just got
But
to
I
get
agree
that
with Rob.
other
That offensive line is putrid.
It's
Their
atrocious.
offensive line is dumpster juice.
Yeah, right.
So let me
not the whole juice from the dumpster.
let me bring in Mr. JB in the conversation. He just got done playing 3-on-3 basketball. For those of you who don't know, since we on the subject of college, we're still gonna talk about college here, and we're gonna do our due diligence. What chances do you give your LSU Tigers against Georgia?
Let me. I was honestly just talking to somebody about this earlier, in Fleck mute your ears, because the way I see how they love to continue to try to add Alabama back to everything. I feel like there's a way that LSU can go in here and screw everything up and win for no damn reason, so Alabama can get back in the dance. I don't want it to happen.
If LSU
I want LSU to lose.
Alabama's definitely not in.
We definitely ain't getting
They don't put Georgia in still.
Georgia's
Yeah,
still gonna be in there, but I hate the fact that they still looking at ways for Alabama.
At worst,
Alabama
Georgia
has
will fall number 4.
For me,
I don't believe LSU gonna win.
Alabama has no chance of getting in. I don't care if TCU loses,
So if
USC
TCU or
loses,
USC
you
lose, you
still
don't
got to
think they'll
jump
get in there?
Ohio State. You still have to jump TCU.
But
I
Alabama's
don't
number
think
5.
So
Alabama's number
Alabama
6.
number 6.
Alabama's sitting at 6.
So
Alabama's
this
sitting at
is the thing.
6. We all know TCU loses, they're gone.
I don't think so.
I
And
do.
that's just me.
And that's the thing. TCU.
I don't think so, because
I think
that
if
be
they
their
lose
first
by
loss.
double digits, if they lose by double digits,
Exactly. If it's a bad,
then they're gone. If it's a close one, I don't know.
No,
I don't see
we're talking
Alabama
about Kansas
jumping.
State, though. We're talking about them losing to Kansas State.
Kansas State is ranked.
TCU. What's it?
Yeah, they are
Okay,
ranked.
what I'm saying is, here's the difference: TCU losing to Kansas State or Ohio State losing to Michigan.
No, I agree
Who
with
would
you.
you take?
I would take Ohio State.
That's what I'm saying. If TCU
But
loses,
Alabama has to
they're
jump
gone.
Ohio
No,
State and
I'm not-
TCU.
so I forgot. I'm not even talking about Alabama. They're done in my head.
So what are you talking
They're done
about?
in my head. No, I'm not even talking about Alabama. Sorry, Rob. You can write that ballot later.
You totally
Alabama's
fine. Go
done
ahead.
this year.
You're totally good.
So what are
Okay.
you talking about then? And that's the point I was about to get at. What JPP just said.
Yeah,
TCU has more ranked wins than Ohio State.
yeah.
TCU has, I think they have like the I know
second-
I can't remember the exact
They
number,
do have
but
more
their
ranked
strength
wins.
of schedule is
Yeah,
like
right.
very high.
It's like I want to say it's top 3 or 4.
It's top 3 or 4. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
TCU.
high.
They got a mean schedule.
I wanted to say it was number 2, but I could be wrong.
I said it was.
I'm
When
hoping
you said it, I said
everything
it too.
stays the way it is right now, so I can see USC and Georgia in that first round matchup.
And
I
that's,
think that'll be a
that's
great
the
game.
only team that has a chance of falling out. If USC loses to Utah, I think
That's
Ohio
good.
State jumps them.
Now somebody
But
else
I
brought
think
it
the
into-
top. I think Georgia's safe. I think Michigan is safe, no matter what.
I think they both-
TCU is, as long as it's not an ugly loss, I think they're safe. USC, if they lose tonight, because they play Utah tonight, if they lose tonight, then I think Ohio
they're out.
State jumps them.
Yeah.
And you'll see Ohio State and Georgia in the first round.
Yeah.
But I don't think Alabama has. I think Alabama has that percentage to get into
It's
the playoffs.
low. It's like
I hear what
17%.
I hear what you're saying. That's just the way I feel. And to answer your original question, Amir, because we went off on different tangents there. I don't think LSU is gonna beat Georgia. I'm not gonna say 0% because that would just be.
I'll say it for
foolish. I don't want to say 0%, but I will say 8%.
Okay, well, let's move on here. We're going to transition from LSU to a former LSU quarterback and Joe Burrow playing the Chiefs this weekend. Who needs his victory more?
I mean,
Joe Burrow.
Obviously Cincinnati does.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas City can take a loss and still be 9-3.
Well, the reason I asked the question because the Bengals put the Chiefs out in the playoffs last year.
Right.
So this is a revenge game for Mahomes.
Right. And it seems
that's the thing. Like Burrow is 2-0 against.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that's what he's getting at. Joe Burrow seemed to have Mahomes' number.
Yeah.
But since Cincinnati needs to win, but Mahomes also needs to win.
I don't
against Burrow just to get the proverbial monkey off his back.
I mean, I can't say a player as great as Mahomes, who already has a Super Bowl to his name, needs a win over 6-14 to get a monkey off his back. But that's just me.
But if you out there being Thanos on everybody, and all of a sudden you have Ant-Man coming in and whipping your ass, you will want to get back at Ant-Man real quick so you can.
This is a story. The reason I bring it up,
JPP on the same page. It's not the playoffs that don't matter.
Hold on, guys. Here's something you guys are not realizing. How much flack does Josh Allen get for always losing to Mahomes in the playoffs?
What has Josh Allen won, though?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
that's what it boils down to for me.
Right.
I get that, but it's always going to be a conversation that Josh Allen can't win the big one because of the Chiefs. Now, if Mahomes loses to Burrow again, is the conversation then started saying Mahomes can't beat Burrow?
No, because until Burrow wins the Super Bowl, it don't matter.
Well, he beat him to get to the Super Bowl, though.
But did he win?
No.
I mean, he did it though.
For me, that's the difference with Josh Allen, Mahomes. Like Josh Allen ain't won nothing. You know what I mean? So it don't matter if he can't get past Mahomes. Hell, he ain't winning nothing. I don't know. That's just me. I guess you know what I'm saying. To your point, it goes back to like when Peyton Manning couldn't beat Brady, or Brady always had Peyton Manning's number. So I get what you're saying.
That's been another.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Brady Manning too. Burrow and Mahomes.
Is one Manning out there, and I mean, is one Manning out there that Tom Brady could never beat.
And it's been a conversation to this day, right?
So,
and it's a conversation that's going to last to the end of time.
To the end of time.
You know, speaking of the end of time, we're going to stay within the division.
Let's do that.
And I'm gonna ask Mr. Robbie Pendergrass himself.
He Pendergrass.
Lamar Jackson. What's up with that?
So
come on, man.
I'm gonna put this squarely where it needs to be at. I'm not blaming Lamar Jackson for that loss last week. I'm not even blaming him for the other three we have. Mm-hmm. Our defense is putrid. They are horrible. Because we go into the half with a decent lead. The offense puts them in the right position. And the Ravens of old, if you get a lead like that, the defense will stand up enough to where we'll secure the game. It's not like our kicker is not amazing enough to where we can kick field goals and we can stay ahead of you as long as the defense stands up.
But Lamar Jackson is not scoring in the second half.
It's hard to score when you.
It's on the offense just as much, ain't it?
Yeah, but it's hard to score when the best receiver you got is literally your tight end Mark Andrews and Devin Duvernay.
The kicker had a chance on this past weekend.
And that's what I'm saying about
yards, bro. Come on, bro.
that dude's leg is one of them.
He had a chance.
Come
He
on,
has
man.
the leg of a decade. So I've never seen nothing like it. His
almost-
leg is insane.
There's no way.
Okay.
There's no way I'm putting that loss on Tucker.
I'm not putting it on him. He just mentioned the pick. I was just saying.
Cooper had a
he had a
chance. No, he didn't. 67
All right,
yards.
so let me go
did.
back to my original question and do 1B there, Rob. Do you pay Lamar Jackson $300 million?
Yes, I'm gonna pay him. I don't know if it's the $300 million, but I'm gonna pay him. He's getting paid because bottom line is, who you gonna get better? Are you gonna go back to Wacko Flacco type players, or are you gonna stay with this young man who's literally taking us places we hadn't been before? So the answer for me is yes. Give him his money. Hey, surround him with some help. Get him some help, please.
JPP said Kaepernick did the same thing in the offense with Vernon Davis. He also had other players though. He had Crabtree, who was kind of trash, but he also had a defense. So yeah. P. Will.
It goes back to what we were talking
Bowman,
about.
So
that's the thing. People compare, Lamar, Kaepernick, and that's great. But the thing about Kaepernick is he had a defense. And I see the comment about Flacco got a ring. Yeah, well, Flacco played second fiddle to Ray Lewis in a great defense. So
I don't trust that ring. They cheated.
Yeah, that was a suspect ring. And my bad. And also Anquan Boldin and Jacoby Jones. So
they cheated.
So let me jump on to one of the comments here, and it brings this kind of full circle. Deshaun Watson makes his debut this weekend, right?
Yep.
That be the reason I'm bringing it up. It's because of his contract, fully guaranteed. Was it 221, something like that? Is that the type of contract that all these quarterbacks are going to get going forward, or?
I don't think anybody else is going to get a fully guaranteed contract.
Well, I didn't think nobody was getting one after Cousins got one, but again,
Cousins was a little different because the Redskins, or I'm sorry, the
Commodores.
Yeah,
they kind of backed themselves into a corner by keep franchising them, which is guaranteed. So I'm not saying that he was worth it, but I can see where his agent came from.
Yes, his agent's the MVP.
Right. But yeah, I think Deshaun got that fully guaranteed contract because he was going to go somewhere else, and Cleveland came in at the last minute and like, hey, we're going to give it all to you. Guaranteed.
Nothing. It was up to him as the way he got traded to.
Right. So I think that's what that came. I don't see another NFL team fully guaranteeing. I mean, Mahomes maybe on his next one if he's, I don't know.
We got guys like Herbert should be coming around, Burrow,
but I don't see them getting fully guaranteed.
I think
Deshaun Watson.
I don't see fully guaranteed either. And you're absolutely right. We were talking about quarterbacks who definitely crap the bed this offseason with their contracts, like a Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Oh no, he didn't crap the bed with his contract. He just crapped the bed.
Hold on, but here's another quarterback nobody's really talking about, and that's Kyler Murray. I don't know if you guys just can't see him because he's small, but what are we missing? He definitely didn't deserve that contract.
He got fleeced. He fleeced the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
But they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah,
they knew that he would not study film. That's why they tried to put that clause in.
They put a gang of clauses in there, but the problem
they had
was
to pick him back out because of all the backlash.
The problem was his agent went public with the clauses, which was crazy and unheard of. But he went public so that they could take him out. But yeah, they had all that in there. No video game.
I'm with Austin Davis though. Kyler, he needs to mature, man. You see him on the sideline blowing up at the coach, blowing up at your receivers, blowing up at your line. Dude, take some accountability at some time.
Right.
And some of that crap is on him.
Now let me ask you this question. Speaking of accountability, do you think what was Zach Wilson? You think he go get a shot again with his accountability?
He'll get a shot again. It just won't be anytime soon, I don't think.
Right.
I don't think it'll
be hard for him to get back. It's going to take.
Mike White's going to have to crap the bed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about the Jets. The Jets went this offseason and put together a great team. They got weapons on the offensive side. They got weapons on the defensive side. They are still 7-4 with the likes of Zach Wilson and Mike White and Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco's balling though.
He
Before
was
he got
balling. Did he
That's
get
what I'm
hurt or
saying.
something?
He didn't know.
So
he
for
didn't
me,
get hurt.
it's more of a system.
Came back.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying I think it's more of a system than it is the quarterback themselves.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
But hold up. I hear what you're saying, but how can you say that? Because Joe Flacco, he filled in and he was balling out. Zach Wilson came back and it was so. Mike White only played one game so far, but he balled out in that one game.
He balled out.
So you got a Joe Flacco balling out, you got a Mike White doing his thing, and Zach Wilson in the middle.
But it goes back to the Kyler Murray thing though. It's a maturity thing because Zach Wilson came in, he got drafted number 2, so all of a sudden now he a superstar and he think he above everybody else. Mike White is sitting on the side with Joe Flacco, learning good and bad. He's learning from Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was balling out while Zach Wilson was hurt, and Mike White is sitting there watching that instead of trying to be the superstar. He's watching the veteran.
Hey, look, hold up. You do remember what Mike White said last year?
I do.
When he balled out them couple of games, like dude was cocky as crap.
He
balled out them couple of games,
and he got knocked down. Right,
Exactly.
he got knocked down. So now I'm gonna listen to the veteran. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna sit on the sideline because I know what it's like to be cocky and to get kicked in the face. So
we'll see what Mike White does against Minnesota this weekend. I'm foreseeing a shootout. I think the Vikings will still, pull it out somewhere 33-30, 32-28, somewhere along those lines.
Hold on, let me address something in the comments real quick. Austin Davis said, "If I'm the Jets, I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers. That's all you're doing is looking because that dude has a $50 million contract. He ain't going nowhere. He's in Green Bay or he's retired.
Don't do that.
Those are his only two options.
So basically, you're trying to be the second. You're trying to make it the second coming of Brett Favre.
Right?
Don't.
That ain't happening.
Don't do that.
But go ahead, Amir. I just had to address that.
It's fine. It's fine. So this weekend, what games you guys looking forward to? NFL. We got what? Tennessee and
Philly. I want to see the Cleveland Houston game for obvious reasons, and of course, AJ Brown against Matthias.
I want to see Tennessee, Philly. Yep. And
San Francisco, Miami.
Miami.
That's gonna be a good one.
That's some big games. If I'm getting a little personal here, the Giants and the Commodores this weekend. Right now both teams stand to make the playoffs. I don't think one or the other might make it by the time the end of the season come around, but this would definitely propel either team moving forward. But that's a big deal when.
It's gonna be some good games.
We're talking about two playoff-bound teams as it stands right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be some good games. You got Kansas City and Cincinnati that we talked about earlier. That's
gonna be a real good one.
And Miami and the 49ers.
The Jedi against the Padawan. That's gonna be a good one. I kind of don't want to watch it because I don't. I'm afraid of what'll happen. With all that speed they have on the outside, with the cornerbacks that the 49ers have, is all a matter of whether or not the defensive line can get to Tua and stop him from throwing them balls out there as fast as he's throwing them, because he's getting the ball out there quick. And with Teron Armstead hurt, it might be possible for a few of them plays, but I don't know exactly how much. I do think they're gonna win, but
I thought Armstead came back this weekend.
Ooh.
You sure? Because I could have swore I just saw something that said he's coming off IR this week.
No, he just went to IR.
I thought it was what's your linebacker's name?
Oh, you talking about Eric?
No, he's talking about
Eric Armstead.
Yeah, Eric Armstead came back. Teron.
He's talking about the tackle for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. My bad.
And of course, the end of the week.
But the Dolphins haven't ruled him out though. He still could play this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Not with the injury he had. He had some type of knee injury. I don't know if they want to do that. Yeah. Eric Armstead is back.
I mean, they haven't ruled him out, is what I'm
right.
So to end the week, we have the NFC South champion Tampa Bay Bucks against the Saints.
Yeah, they
Uh,
they should have flexed them out of
I
that.
had to try to
They
dress
just
up
flex
as
that game out.
fancy as I could. We know that Saints has been Tom Brady's and the Buccaneer Tom Brady, kryptonite. So what game are we expecting come Monday night?
Well,
Uh,
what I'm looking forward to for that game, I'm looking forward to seeing if Marshawn Lattimore is finally coming back, because he's been out for 8 weeks with an abdomen injury. I don't know what happened, but he's been out for 8 weeks.
He's
with
slated to come back.
he's slated to come back.
Yeah.
He was supposed to come back against the 49ers, and he didn't. The last game he played was, I think, against Tampa Bay, but I'm waiting to see if it's on site again with him and Mike Evans, because it'd be on site. So
Well,
will there be a fight? Also, I want to see if the Flaming Redhead is going to stay in the game. I don't understand what's going on down here in New Orleans and why Andy Dalton is still starting. I don't know what happened to Jameis, because by all accounts he is fully healthy and cleared to play. So I
He's
don't
been healthy, yes.
I don't know what happened. They haven't made anything public in New Orleans.
Is Fournette playing? I don't think Fournette is still playing.
Fournette not playing this game, but I mean,
and then what's going on with Mike Evans? Like,
he practiced in full today though.
Did he?
So, yeah. So I mean, I don't know if he's playing, but he practiced in full, so I would think that he would be in line to play.
What's going on with
Practice
Mike
in
Evans?
full and not play, right?
I
said you don't practice in full and not play, right?
No,
that's not true at all, because Matthew Stafford was cleared of concussion protocol. He's not playing still.
And
I just want to throw that out there.
But Stafford's got other issues though.
He got other injuries. He got like 6 or 7 things going on with him. Man.
It happened with Eric Armstead a few weeks ago. It happened with Nick Bosa when he was out that one game, and it happened with Deebo Samuel too. When they sat them those one games earlier in the season, they practiced in full, but they still didn't play. They held them out just to make sure that to be safe for themselves.
Mike Williams too, right?
Yep, Mike Williams
a couple of times full practice on Friday.
And he's still out because he out this Sunday with his ankle injury. So
yeah, that's true. But yeah, somebody please help me find out what's going on with Mike Evans, because he has not played well at all.
No, Godwin's been the one that's been Brady's been going to.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I got Godwin on my fantasy team, so I'm okay with what's going on down there.
I can't.
So we're going to give the Cowboys a little love here.
What?
But it's not the love that they're searching for.
I wasn't agreed on, sir.
The news this week was Jerry Jones.
Let me tell you something.
Photo surfaced.
Oh boy.
Him as a teenager. I think it was a 65, something like that, 56.
Yeah, 57.
Yeah, something like that.
And they was desegregating the school.
We get it. We understand. Sorry. I get it. I can only speak for myself. I understand that you're a part of your times. I'm not defending the photo. I'm saying wrong place, wrong time. Well, with that being said, LeBron James yesterday held a press conference and asked the media, why aren't they asking him about this said photo?
The same way they asked Kyrie.
The same way they all got on Kyrie Irving.
Oh, yeah.
What are we missing here?
No, I 1,000%. I'm sorry, you said Fleck. Go ahead, Fleck.
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Because I 1,000% agree with LeBron James, because he right. Media, y'all need to keep the same energy. Y'all can't come at one person, because you come in that Kyrie neck, you come in that Kanye neck, but Kanye crazy. But you come in that Kyrie neck. But this happened with Jerry Jones, and you don't say nothing. It's quiet, media silence. You can't be on two sides of the same coin and not mention either side. You can say heads but not tails. No, you need to. Let's talk about it. Have a discussion. Ask Jerry Jones why he was in the picture. You know why he was in the picture, but ask him if he still feels the same way. You need to give him a chance to explain why he was in the picture.
Let me cut you off there. Let me answer that question for you, because he was asked today.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones was asked today about his reactions over LeBron James' comment. And what does he feel? Let me finish, guys. Let me finish. And Jerry Jones avoided the question by just focusing. That's why I said, let me finish. By just focusing on LeBron James' comment and praising LeBron James for who he is and what he stands for, but didn't answer the question or didn't renounce racism or didn't speak on the photo or what was going on. Mm-hmm. So, back to you, Fleck. What says you?
Whew. Okay, so you kind of took my thunder right there.
My bad.
My apologies. My apologies.
No, you good, bro. But that's my thing. Like, okay, we're sitting here wondering why the media hasn't asked Jerry Jones about it. Why hasn't Jerry Jones talked about it? You know what I mean? Like you said, why hasn't he denounced racism if that's how he feels? I mean, maybe it is, maybe it's not. We're a sports show. I'm not going to get into that side of it. But I mean, you can't just ignore it. But we're starting to see, I'm not racist or anything like that, but we're starting to see a lot of selective coverage when it comes to certain things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Brett Favre, he still stole $5 million from the state of Mississippi to build a volleyball.
And it's crazy.
Center.
It's crazy because he still have all of his endorsements, but Kyrie lost all of his.
And that's I don't want to bring that type of light to the show, but we see it. We understand what's going on in the world outside of sports.
We would do a world a disjustice if we didn't address it, and especially since it is still sports related.
It's happening in the sports world,
right?
Seeing as Kyrie was put through hell, pretty much.
No, I agree with
just for him to get back on the court.
He had to collect all the Infinity Stones.
And on top of that, Amazon just announced today that they will keep that
Yeah,
movie.
they're not pulling it.
They're not pulling it.
So, Rob, where you at with this?
It's par for course for Jerry. It's par for course. That's his MO.
Yeah.
I mean, think back. He made the statement when the team everybody was kneeling that nobody will kneel for the Cowboys. Right?
Or they won't play for the Cowboys.
Or they won't be able to play for the Cowboys.
That's what he said. They getting cut.
Then, when they finally gave in, it was what Jerry wanted to do. Instead of kneeling, we're going to do this. It's always about what Jerry wants. Bottom line, Jerry doesn't care about anything from the outside world because they let him do it. No one's going to hold him accountable.
True.
So
how's it America's team?
Hold up.
And think about this: how telling is this that there's only one owner in the NFL that's not white. One. And there's only a few black head coaches. And when a black head coach has a bad season, what usually happens?
There you go. They
gone. And a prime example, like Jerry, another thing that Jerry does, and I'm sorry to go on this tangent because I've been waiting on this. When they were doing the head coaching interviews, where was Mike McCarthy at for his interview? He was at home.
Mm-hmm.
He did his via teleconference. But Marvin Lewis, he had to come in for his interview.
Oh yeah, I need you in the building.
I need you here. If you can't make it, then we understand. It's Jerry. It's par for course. That's what it is. And he's not going to change. Bottom line.
But before we get off this dude, because I didn't realize he had talked about it until you said something, Amir, so I just looked it up real quick. This dude, Jerry Jones, said he was at the protest out of curiosity rather than arguing to keep the schools segregated.
Mm-hmm.
Curiosity or what? He wanted to see what a black person looked like? Okay. That's what you was scared?
You had 24 hours to respond with all the resources that you got, and that's what you came back with?
That's what it came with.
Jerry Jones, look at me.
I would have said it was a field trip, and we all had to go.
I would have came through. Jerry Jones, look at me. Look at me in my eyes. I would have been like, I was trying to cross the street. They just caught me in the picture. I wasn't even right there for that long. You was curious about Jerry Jones? What you was curious about?
I'm done with this. I'm done with this subject. This dude said he was there out of curiosity.
How's that America's team? How y'all still supporting this dude? Y'all stupid. I'm gonna say it straight up and down. Y'all stupid. If you're a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry. But
before we I guess to finish this conversation, to tie Jerry Jones and LeBron stopped being a Cowboys fan the moment Jerry said everybody will stand during the national anthem. Nobody would kneel. And LeBron took his talents back to Cleveland as a fan because he immediately put a Browns hat on right after that.
You really could have picked
and speaking of LeBron, tonight they got the Milwaukee Bucks. I just want to bring up LeBron one more time so I can segue. See what I did there?
That's going to be terrible.
I think
Jim, you about to lose your job.
I don't want to talk about the Lakers more than I have to.
Please don't.
But I will put the ball in your court here, Fleck, and talk about the team behind you. Is this season the Celtics to lose?
If they can figure out how to beat Cleveland and Chicago, they'll be all right. They 18-0 against everybody else, 0-4 against Chicago and Cleveland.
You'll see what
and
the
that's
Celtics
two
do in
playoff
March.
series that they have to see.
Right. So, I mean, they're playing good ball. Still got to get some key pieces back. Robert Williams still out. I like this team. Whether or not Tatum is playing
Jason Tatum your MVP.
He's playing MVP level ball right now. Yes.
Can they sustain it?
And that's what I was about to say. Whether that plays out over the course of 60 more games, I don't know.
Because
if you asking me right now, is Tatum right now the MVP? Yes, without a doubt.
Because just like I know, the beginning of the season don't mean nothing. It's all about how you end the season. And playing when the season start? October, right? Like October, November, you can ball out, but come January, if you go on a loser streak, you can go from 1 to 10 real quick. You saw it happen.
Going to 1 to 10, I'm glad you brought that up. Utah just did that.
I was just about to say it, but I'm gonna let you do it because
he's trying to get his job back.
No, this is what happens. When we don't have a baseball show. He needs something to host. So when there's no baseball, he hosts the show.
For the record, I've been waiting all week to do that one. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. So yeah, I mean, it can turn around on you real quick. So
right now the odds say Detroit is the number one. Will have the number one pick. Obviously, that could turn every which way between now and then the draft, and obviously the ping pong balls and the odds. But
what are we talking,
Vegas
NBA or NFL right now?
NBA.
Oh, okay.
We didn't
talk about the NBA.
What are you talking about?
We were past the NFL.
I got lost for a second. I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
The Pistons are favored right now to get that number one pick, and Wembanyama obviously will be the number one pick. How does he fit into that team? I know we discussed Wembanyama and a couple other teams last year. Rob, where do you think he fits?
That kid is so talented. He can fit in anywhere he wants.
Anywhere.
That kid is a nightmare. Like, we haven't seen an animal like this ever in our entire life. He's long. He's athletic. He can shoot. He can dribble. He plays defense. He has a great mental acumen, basketball acumen, mindset, whatever. Dude is a monster. Like, he is a monster. And that's why I'm praying that my Spurs stop playing around and get to tanking like we need to. I want that dude. I really want that dude.
Your Spurs ain't got a tank. They just terrible.
We for a second there, they were trying to play ball like they were trying to win games. I was like, what are y'all doing, sir? I don't know where this is going right now. They started coming back around. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Orlando got a whole ways to go. I'm looking at the comments on my Boy, and I know
you say how you talk the East.
That kid from Duke is playing really well as well.
Speaking, in the comments they said, how do you not?
We did start the NBA segment with the Bucks and Lakers, and I forgot to
Yeah.
address this. Chris Middleton makes his return tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, they're actually
How does
playing right
that?
They're on right now, right?
now. Yeah,
If
it's
he stays
15-12
healthy,
right now.
if he stays
Lakers.
healthy, is the Bucks obviously they're 18 to beat, but can they supplant the Boston Celtics?
They can. They gonna be real
can.
competitive. I think that series
Yeah, I was
will
about
go.
to say
That series will go to the wire.
Yeah, if it came down to those two teams, then yeah, it'll be a good series.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I'm a little biased, you know,
So
because of what's behind me, but
that's why we didn't ask you, sir.
and that's why I made sure you heard me.
What a mute button. Now,
Hot fire.
I feel like that'll come that series will come to at least 6 games at the very least, and they'll all be
It
close.
was 6 games last year too, right? They lost. They beat them 6
It
games.
was 6.
That'll definitely be a very good one. But let me ask you this question, because we brought up the crazy dude earlier. And we talk about basketball right now. How would you feel? And I don't know if y'all talked about this before I got on. How would you feel if you were sitting at dinner with your wife and your children, fresh off?
Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I already know where you're going. Leave it alone.
Leave
it alone.
No,
We're not going to open up that wormhole. Leave it alone.
I just
And
need
for
to
the
ask-
record, he was doing a State Farm commercial when it came
Right.
out.
Leave it alone. We're not.
Watch
We're
your
not.
State Farm.
Nope.
How would you feel if your
Nope,
children started
nope.
growing up?
Leave it alone. That ain't got nothing to do with the only
It's
sports related
sports-related.
thing in that is that it involves Chris Paul.
And
Leave
I
it
just
alone.
want, how would you feel if that happened to you? You just sitting there and your Twitter just start blowing up for no reason.
Depending on what the source that it came from. The source that it came from, right there, I wouldn't even worry about it.
He said it's Devin Booker fault. It is.
It's always been a difficult.
You know what? And it can be, seeing as he was dating the other Jenna, he probably brought around the house. And, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying that could have been a thing.
Now, I will tell
He
you
probably
this.
just came out for a barbecue, and Kanye just thought it was something completely different.
Now, he didn't say at what time he saw them together. He said I walked in on this man with Kim. He didn't say
So how are we talking about that?
But
and
wait,
not talking about Cat being out 4 to 6 weeks. I
real,
think that's more important.
we
to
gonna
what
talk about that. But wait,
we
real
do.
quick. I
I
will
think
point
that's more
out.
important with what we do. This is what you're doing. It should be on Real Housewives of New Orleans.
Right.
or something.
Right.
You know
We're
what I
talking
mean?
about sports
Like,
things.
we're gonna leave that alone.
Well, since
Yeah.
we mentioned Chris Paul, let's mention his backcourt mate who scored 51 yesterday, and
Yes.
Devin Booker. Where you rank Devin Booker as far as your guards?
Shooting guard,
Yeah,
definitely top
Top 5.
5. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
top
Give him
5.
top 5. He's in the conversation. He's in the conversation. If he can continue playing like this, he's in the MVP conversation. Dead center in it.
I mean, he hell of a player. Yeah.
He's a hell of a player.
Hey,
do Phoenix come out the West? Finally,
They
I
can.
mean, who's
well, they did
say-
it before.
you say they came out the
They went
West
to the final
a
couple
couple
years,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
possibility.
they're winning it now. I mean, who's what? Denver maybe.
Between 1 and 10 is
New
what-
Orleans is balling. What?
Utah
Memphis?
balling, and
and speaking of West teams, can Golden State get their act together?
I don't know
It's
what's going
hard
on.
to.
I don't even know what's wrong with Golden State.
I have everybody. People are healthy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin Davis, I need you to sit down somewhere. DeRozan
Clinton.
and that trade is not happening.
They want that to
I
happen
don't
so
know
bad.
I don't know what's going on with
The-
ask the people in the audience what's going on with Golden State. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Golden
I mean,
State.
Clay been quietly balling ever since threw his hands in his face the other day, a couple of weeks ago. But they sitting people like the 2 times Golden State came to New Orleans this year. They sat everybody. So you losing road games just to lose road games. You just not playing nobody. I get bench rest and all this other stuff, but you just sitting people. You don't have a winning record. You're not tanking. So what what's really going on. Clay trash now. Who is this?
Well, they at 500, I think.
He go
I
sit
think
down.
they what, 12-12, 13-13. I think they're 500, something like that.
Yeah.
We would like to publicly
Right.
acknowledge that we do not acknowledge all comments. Just want to
Right.
throw it out there.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Right.
Jordan
Who
Poole
said
still
that?
injured from that hook. He might be. Jordan Poole might still be a little flabbergasted, but I don't.
Maybe they're tanking for Wembanyama.
No, they're not.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Golden State, man.
I know, but I feel like Draymond Green on his way out the door, definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if they wanted him around, they would have extended him a long time ago. I think he's finally on the outs. Does he fit in anywhere though? Because
I was about to say, where's he going? The
fit
Lakers?
in
I
anywhere
heard the
else?
Lakers wanted him at
Lakers
one
want
point.
I
Do they
think the
still
Lakers
want him?
want him. The Lakers would definitely take him.
The Lakers need to do everything they can to get somebody that can shoot a 3-point shot.
Hell,
What
Well,
do y'all
that ain't
do?
great,
And
man.
they are. Rumors came out today that they're working on a trade for DeRozan and Vucevic for Chicago. So even though
What?
that rumor's been out
What
for
are
the
they going
last
to
3
trade,
seasons.
though? What
What
do
are they
they have
gonna
to
trade?
trade?
I think I heard that rumor. Ain't they trying to get rid of Patrick Beverly?
yes.
Who the
You know, I
hell
think they try
want
to
Patrick
get
Beverly?
put a bag of hot Cheetos.
Who want Patrick? Who in their right mind would trade Patrick Beverly for DeRozan or
They're trying to they're trying to package Patrick Beverly
Stop it.
and Kendrick Nunn together.
stop it?
And they're gonna buy and
To
they
get
buy
what?
and
To
they
get
buy
what?
Patrick Beverly's contract out so he wouldn't be able to play.
One of
Stop
these.
it.
One of these.
But either way, it's still ridiculous.
They go get one of these right here, Fleck.
A bottle of water. Shit, I ain't even get
A bottle of Dasani.
Hey,
Not even regular water. Dasani.
I don't even know where mine went, but it's empty. That's what they can get, an empty bottle of water.
Speaking of bad knees,
And some of this here.
Kemba Walker has joined the Dallas Mavericks this week.
I thought he joined the
Next. He went to the Mavericks. Next.
Can he be an effective player at this point?
No. We
What was wrong with you?
let's talk about Cat being out for the season.
Yo, hold up. Breaking news real quick, totally off topic. Jacob deGrom signed with the Rangers. 5 years, $185 million.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Wow.
Jesus.
Whoa. I mean, that is like literally fresh off the press.
It's ridiculous.
Nasty.
I have yet to see anything. Really?
You're going to start seeing it. Jacob deGrom to the Rangers, 5 years, $185 million.
And for the record, didn't I say something about that a couple of weeks ago?
You
'Cause
did, sir.
That's
You did.
ridiculous.
Whoa.
Rangers said they had the money. Since we are on the subject of baseball, since we transition, we'll transition.
I'm sorry.
really
I
quickly.
mean, I couldn't let that
No,
one
you're
go.
fine. You're fine. You're fine. Jose Abreu signed with the World Series champions. And I guess I'll ask myself that question. Where does that fit in with the Houston Astros? And I will say that's a huge upgrade over Yuliev Gurriel and Trey Mancini, who neither one of them showed up in the playoffs. If Justin Verlander comes back to the Astros, then that's going to be a huge deal. But I don't see that happening. All
I was
rumors
about to
point
say.
to Verlander going to LA Dodgers.
Or do the Mets try to get him now that they lost deGrom?
So the Mets are, man, they're losing Bassett, they're losing Taijuan Walker. They now lost DeGrom, and they're going to pay Scherzer next season $44.6 million to pitch for the Mets next season. So that team went from viable to unreliable, I guess.
I'll tell you who's happy about it.
The Braves, of course. That's huge for the Braves. If the Braves do nothing, they're still better off than the Mets will be at this point, you know? Yep, I see it. 5 years, 185.
Yeah, man. That's
Jeez.
That's good, man.
it's crazy.
After Texas spent $500 million last season on free agency, but they didn't touch the pitching market, so we'll see where they're at. Now, all teams are just going after Houston. Seattle made a trade today. They traded for Colton Wong of Milwaukee, got rid of Jesse Winker and Del Toro, something like that. So a lot of people just want them gone. Speaking of gone, Survivor Series came and gone last week, and the Bloodline survived another. We'll briefly talk about this as we move forward to the Royal Rumble, where majority of us will be there live at the Royal Rumble in San Antonio, Texas. By the way, I'll open it up with the one guy who's not going to be there. And rumors
hit you with the
today came out with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, winning the Royal Rumble. How do you feel about that guy who's not going?
So first of all, I feel personally attacked.
That would
And
be you.
I want you to understand I'm going straight to HR after the
That would
show
be
is
you.
over. As soon as the show is over, I'm going to HR because I feel very attacked and I don't like it. If Dwayne The Rock Johnson shows up to the Royal Rumble and wins the Royal Rumble, I mean, that is a storyline that they have been pushing for a couple of years. So I feel like it probably will happen. I won't be too heartbroken over it because I've seen Dwayne The Rock Johnson in person and at a
Costco, don't count.
At a WrestleMania and also on set, so I'm not too worried about it.
And also on set.
I mean, you sound like you're upset.
I'm upset that you're not going to be there. Yes,
Rob, my security my security team just lost a member. I need you to feel it. But yeah, I like the prospect of The Rock being there and winning that Royal Rumble, so they can push that storyline forward finally and do things with that. So,
I guess the question I have is, does he win? And if not, who beats Roman Reigns? Fleck?
If it's The Rock, I don't think The Rock beats him.
Yeah, The Rock not gonna win.
Only because Rock is part-time. You know what I mean? He's not gonna be able to I mean, I guess Roman Reigns is part-time too, but Rock is even more part-time because his time is like very restricted. Right. So I think it'll be a one-off match. It'll be, Reigns will win. So Rock can be like, okay, yes, you are the head of the table. Officially acknowledge that and move that on. I think ultimately, who's gonna dethrone Roman Reigns? I think it's gonna be Sami Zayn. Crazy as that sounds right now, I think that's who it's gonna be.
You think they'll push it like a Kofi Mania type thing?
I think Sami Zayn has so much popularity behind him right now. And if that continues through, because it won't be this WrestleMania, but if it continues through WrestleMania with him being as popular as he is right now, I think it's him. Or somebody that hasn't even got it back in the ring yet. Bray Wyatt. I mean, could be Bray. I think KO is gonna get Reigns at Rumble, but he's not gonna win, obviously.
Right. Then don't forget you still got Cody Rhodes. I also heard a rumor.
Yeah, I think once they split the titles back up, which they need to do like ASAP. That's what they need to start.
They're not gonna do that until at least
headed back towards, because right now, you know what I'm saying, with Reigns not being on either show full time, you're taking both of your top titles off TV twice a week almost.
Yep, they're not gonna do that until at least SummerSlam, but they are supposed to be doing a draft again. They're bringing the draft back. I did hear a rumor that they might try to figure out a way to put Cena in there so he can get his 17th title reign at the same time. So look, you might want to be on the lookout for one of those.
I think we'll see more of a John Cena versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania type
at WrestleMania, yeah.
Or they revisit the John Cena Austin Theory storyline that they kind of scrapped too. Right, I think that right there would have been, John Cena putting Austin Theory over. I think that would have been huge too.
And I think they still want to get John Cena the Intercontinental title because that's the one that he's never had, and they want to get him that 17th title reign so they can put him in the Hall of Fame, as a what they call it? They don't call it Triple Crown no more.
Grand Slam?
The Grand Slam champion and the record holder 17-time world champion. So
we're going to briefly move on from KO to the KO stage of the World Cup starting tomorrow. Again, it's briefly. The United States starts that off at 9 a.m. as they played the Netherlands. I posted earlier. If you guys didn't see it or if you guys heard about it, I guess I can equate this to Georgia versus LSU. What chances do you give the USA in advancing even further in the World Cup?
I'm gonna be the first to say that soccer is not my expertise.
Football, sir.
But if you put it in terms of the U.S. is LSU and Netherlands is Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In that matchup,
then I guess I'll give them an 8% chance.
No, Netherlands is not like Georgia. They're beatable. I would say more of, you know what? I would dare to say Alabama in a sense where they're good, but they lost some games. They're beatable. They've been dominant, but they've lost. If that makes sense. So I can't
Georgia
say
against Alabama.
So let's say Notre Dame against Alabama.
Oh, then
so the U.S. is Notre Dame and the Netherlands is Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm giving them a 0% chance. Notre Dame don't like the big stage.
And I'm gonna be real with you,
especially against Alabama. They don't.
As soon as Alabama sees Notre Dame's name in the bracket near them, we get hyped. We know that.
But you know what? I will equate. You know what? And I'm gonna talk your language here just for a second, if I can, Rob. I'm gonna equate the USA team to Lamar Jackson and Louisville, where nobody knew who the heck Louisville was playing or who's on the squad other than the quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he was a standout. So with the United States, you got Christian Pulisic.
He was just cleared to play.
He just got
cleared. We don't know who anybody else is. So they're good, but they're not beating anybody in the playoff good. If you guys catch my drift.
So you obviously know more about this than or I'm gonna say I do. I can't speak for my other brothers here.
You can speak for me. I'm good.
Okay. So what chance do you give the United States of advancing past the Netherlands?
So if I'm being completely honest here, they have a chance. They actually have a chance. They got a great defense. They can contain the ball. The issue with the United States team, this United States team, is they can't score to save their lives. So we're looking at like the Giants of the NFL who win games 13-10, 17-14 type, where they're good, but they're beating on people who they're supposed to, but can't beat anybody who can score. And that's the issue. So if Netherlands come out scoring, the United States is done right out the rip. It has to be a scoreless battle somewhat. There's no ties. Those of you that don't know that, starting tomorrow, you cannot tie a game. That's why they call it the knockout stage. Somebody has to win. So you have your 90-day, you have your 45-minute periods, your 90 minutes. Then you have overtime, and then you have penalty kicks. So somebody has to win. So somebody has to score, somebody has to win, and that's where we're at. And obviously, we have to give a little love to the World Cup because we kind of have to.
We kind of have to. It's a sport. Amir, because I jumped on late, real quick. Did you mention about Gaylord Perry?
I did not. Hall of Fame Major League Baseball pitcher Gaylord Perry passed away a couple of days ago at the age of 84.
Two-time
he was credited. He was credited for inventing the spitball. I have a couple of his cards actually. Way back when he played with Seattle, in the early 80s. But huge loss for the baseball world, and I'm glad you brought baseball back up, and you guys can get in on this. And I haven't done my research on it, but this weekend, the Major League Baseball Contemporary Committee is voting on 3 players to go into the Hall of Fame in 2023. And those players include Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens,
Is it Sosa?
Bagwell and well, not Bagwell. Bagwell's already in. Palmeiro, Sosa.
McGuire.
So
No
only
McGuire?
3 can get in.
McGuire
Roger
on there?
Clemens is on that list.
No McGuire.
So the
I thought
steroid
McGuire
boys.
was
I believe all of those guys are on it. Now, the crazy part about this committee is they're former baseball players. Greg Maddux, Chipper Jones. These guys are on that committee. They're voting this weekend, I believe, is this weekend or next weekend. Again, I haven't really done my my research on it. It's the first time it's happened where they took it out. They're taking it out of the baseball writers' hands. And 3 guys can get into the Hall of Fame next season based upon this committee. So yeah, that's happening.
So are you asking us who? Do we think?
Yeah. Does
I think Roger
would it be
Clemens
fair?
deserves to
I
be.
don't know. This is new. So say Bonds get in. Is it do you compare it to how you get in regularly?
For me, I guess I would
I
because
would.
I think he should be in there anyway.
Yeah. And you see him go
Roger
in like
Clemens, I think he should be in there anyway. Did they juice? Yeah,
Possibly.
but I mean, wasn't that like that whole era for the most part?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So-
Like you
Sosa
still had
didn't
to,
juice.
you still
Sosa
had
had
to be able
cork
to hit
bat, right?
the ball, huh?
Sosa didn't juice. He had cork bats, right?
I think it was
No, he
both.
juiced.
No, Sosa
Yeah,
juiced.
both.
Yeah,
It was both.
Sosa was a
Sosa
cheat all the way
definitely
around.
Sosa was wide open with it. So
Yeah,
I don't think Sosa
didn't
gets
care.
in
That's why he
regardless.
tried to change his identity after he retired.
that's
he
why.
He did go into witness protection in front of everybody's eyes.
And turned completely white.
I mean, completely. And a cowboy. He became a white cowboy. He went all the way over.
So I'm looking at it, at you know, after you said
They
something.
said it's
I'm looking
8
at,
players.
Albert Bell, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Don Mattingly, Fred McGriff, Dale Murphy, Palmeiro, Kurt Schilling are the players that are voted on. So I don't think I even called Roger Clemens name.
Why is Dale Murphy
Clemens
not
is in there,
the
so-
hall yet?
Here's the interesting part, right? You got guys who should have been in the Hall of Fame, like Mattingly,
right.
Murphy, who didn't cheat the game. And I
Right.
believe
Okay, yeah.
they will get in.
So out of those ones out of the names that I named,
It's gonna
Barry
come. It's gonna
Bonds-
come
you
down.
said only
To,
3, right?
yeah, it's gonna come down to
I mean,
Bonds
I
and
guess
Clemens. Be that third
Bonds,
person.
Clemens, and Schilling for me.
Nah, Shirley won't get in.
Schilling ain't
You don't
gonna
think
get
so?
in. No.
Nah, because you got 2 guys here who's getting a second chance. 3 guys, and Don Mattingly, Fred McGriff, and Dale Murphy. Which I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I didn't do my research till now. I just googled it. Who are not tied to the steroid scandal whatsoever, because this is before the steroid, and their numbers, they might get in before Bonds and Clemens and Palmeiro and those guys. So
And why
these guys might play it safe and vote those 3 guys in to say, hey,
And then I guess for me it'd be like, then what was the point in this committee? Like, if those guys weren't tied to, you know what I'm saying, steroid use and they still didn't get in. I don't know. I guess I kind of see what you're saying. The numbers are similar. They still didn't get in, and they
Right.
don't have that stigma of being a steroid use.
yeah, they're by no means
I get
better than
what you're
Barry
saying.
Bonds and Roger Clemens.
I get what
By
you're
no
saying. I
means
get
they're
what you're
better.
saying.
But what
I
I'm
totally
saying
get
is
what you're
committee
saying.
might be like, you know what? This is a second chance committee. We might give a second chance to the guys who didn't or not known cheaters, I should say. And
But I
probably
just
bring in
don't
Fred
see
McGriff.
I just don't see how you can keep keeping the home run king out. I mean, regardless of how you feel about how he got there, he's there. I mean, he's listed in the record books as the home run king.
Yeah.
The home run, there's no denying that part. So I don't know. I don't see how you can keep leaving him out.
I don't know, but the committee
I
is Chipper
understand, you know
Jones,
what I'm saying, with the steroid use and all that good stuff, but
Chipper
But
Jones,
never-
Greg Maddux, Jack Morris, Ryan Sandberg, Lee Smith, Frank Thomas, and Alan Trammell are the players that make up the committee. They also have several GMs that's on the committee. So this is
But
the first
wait a
time
minute.
this has been done. So this is unprecedented. We don't know.
Question.
and
Did
The
Bonds
vote for the
ever get
voting
caught for real?
will be announced December the 4th.
Bonds never got caught though, right? They
Who?
assumed,
they just suspected.
they suspected that he had used like deer antler spray or whatever it was called,
Right.
like
'Cause they-
HGH, but he never was caught.
no, he was never caught. They just said that his head got like 3 sizes bigger, so he had
Well,
to be on something.
Barry Bonds can thank Gary Sheffield for that. Sheffield was getting his shipments at Barry Bonds' home way back when. And that's where all of it started to get tied into some.
Got it.
So Gary Sheffield got caught.
Good job.
And it was more like, well, I got it from Barry Bonds.
Of course.
And that's
Boy,
you know,
you're
it's one of
old
those things.
snitch, boy. I can't
Yeah.
go down by myself.
it was I've read these books. I read these books, and that's where it all came from. And I read more than just Jose Canseco.
So which three did? So which you said you think Mattingly, McGriff, and
I
Murphy?
think this committee, not me. I think this committee will vote Mattingly, Dale Murphy, and Fred McGriff. I think they'll give chance to those three because they don't want their hands to be tied to the steroid era users.
And I like the Crime Dog as a former Brave, but
Yeah.
That's who I think will go in.
I mean, and I
Skill-wise,
understand
1
where
and 2,
you're
yes,
coming
should be
from.
Bonds and Clemens.
Huh? Oh, you said what?
If it's up to me, skill-wise, yes, Bonds and Clemens are 1 and 2, and
Right.
that out of that list. You know,
And who would be your third?
I would do Don Mattingly.
Okay.
I think his resume as a manager as well should be thrown in there. You know,
So why is Mattingly not in?
Never won a championship, just one or two batting titles, I believe. He didn't have the elite resume, as some will say. You know, he was more of a 300 home run guy, not a 500. 300, 350, something like that. His batting average is always above 300. He led the league in batting average. You know, he never made the playoffs. He was just part of a lot of bad Yankees teams. He didn't make the playoffs in his last season in the majors. So that hurt him. So as good as he was, nobody was watching him. Nobody was paying attention. And that hurt him. It was just a different era. You know, people say Yankees guys.
So
The
he
Yankees
didn't
were
even
bad. Yankees were bad during his time.
he didn't even have 300 home runs. He had
Man,
222 home runs.
How many he had?
222.
How many stolen bases
Yeah,
did he
that's
have?
not Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, for me, no. I mean,
did he have RBIs or something?
for
Stolen
stolen bases for his career, he only had 14 total for his
Oh
career.
no, he was a bigger guy playing first base.
Well, I was just answering Jim's question.
You know, RBIs?
RBIs, he had 1,099. So it wasn't anything like, you know, knock your socks off.
Nothing to write.
Like I don't see how that would. For me, that's not a Hall of Fame career.
No.
But again, I'm only telling you what the older guys how they think. They
No, I
would
get what you're
rather
saying.
have
I'm just.
they would rather have
I'm
these
just-
guys in than the steroid users or the alleged steroid users.
I get what you're saying. I'm just. I don't know. I'm just looking at 222 home runs.
All right, so
Dale Murphy, yes, I can, you know, see him getting in.
you only
with
said that
almost-
because the Braves.
He almost had he finished with 398 home runs too.
I thought he was already in. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Dale Murphy was already on the Fame.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought he was in too.
I just
That's why
asked
when you
that.
said when I
asked that a
read his
little while
name, I
ago.
was like, really?
I asked that a little while ago. Y'all were talking at the time. I was like, how is Dale Murphy not in the Hall yet?
I thought he was.
I
So
thought
tonight,
he was too.
let's wrap this up right now. I think what we have here coming up shortly, USC and Utah tonight. Does USC avenge their loss?
They only lost by a point against Utah last time they played. So
That's not the
it's
question.
I'm
Utah not
getting
gonna
to
beat
that.
USC again.
I'm saying that to say this. I think with what's at stake for them now, I think Lincoln
geez.
Riley's going to have them boys focused enough and they're going to beat Utah tonight. I think they beat Utah tonight.
Well, USC is on the 2-yard line right now. So
so it's already live. Okay, so
Yeah.
we need to get out of here and watch some football.
Lincoln Riley just threw a 52-yard pass.
Lincoln Riley did?
Lincoln Riley did?
Lincoln Riley's the coach.
Man,
Yeah,
he came
he
out
did.
and threw.
He went out
threw his
on the
first
field.
pass.
He went out on the field. Touchdown, USC. He went out on the field and threw the pass. I saw it.
Caleb
Tomorrow,
Williams.
Kansas State, TCU, LSU, Georgia. Who wins?
TCU and Georgia.
TCU,
You in Georgia?
And I guess in the irrelevant
Michigan-
ACC bowl, we got Clemson and North Carolina.
Michigan has Purdue too.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, we skipped that on purpose.
Clemson, North Carolina. Any takers to that game?
Clemson, North Carolina.
Man, Clemson. It depends on which
Clemson's gonna show up?
which quarterback that shows up for Clemson.
Yeah, is it gonna be what's his name?
Be
Ukulele?
DJ?
Yeah, which version of him shows up?
Yeah.
So some games he looks like a future first rounder, and some games it's like, dude, you ain't even going to be an undrafted free agent at this point.
Exactly.
All right, that's really all I got. Well, UFC Fight Night tomorrow night. Kevin Holland, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That should be a good fight. Dos Santos is also on the card, and Taya that's tomorrow. It's a good card tomorrow. Fight Night tomorrow. UFC, watch it.
And
That's really all I got, gentlemen. What you got?
Cat out 4 to 6 weeks for the Timberwolves. We didn't really get a chance to touch on that one much, but that's out there.
Somebody brought it to baseball. He wearing an Atlanta hat.
Oh, and it's the first time since
Show your ass up for work.
2016 that Duke and North Carolina both lost to teams lower ranked than them and dropped them out of the top 10. So this is the first time that it's happened since 2016, and before that it was 1989 that they lost same day.
Who North Carolina lost to?
Hmm?
Who North Carolina lost to?
This time, University of Alabama. Let's get it. Let's get it. Knock off number one. That's what we do. Roll Tide. You know it.
For the record, they had already lost to number one.
I mean,
Iowa State had beat them.
The poll hadn't came out yet. The poll hadn't
they
came
were
out
still
yet.
number
So
one. They were still number one technically.
And speaking of number one, the Houston Cougars.
Yes,
Zach Wilson's favorite team, the Cougars,
number one.
is the number one team in college basketball right now. They ain't been number one since like 83 or something like that, right?
Right.
Since Fly Slammer Jammer.
I
Yeah.
hate Alabama so much, but they did give the Pelicans Herb Jones. So
So
the jury's still out on how
You better learn to love it. You got a great one right there.
Texas is good. I saw their game last night. They beat Creighton. They
Texas
played
is
them.
real good. Texas is really good. I like that squad a lot. It's gonna be an
All right,
interesting
Jimmy,
year.
take us out.
And Sami Zayn just stole a win.
Yes,
Sami
he
Zayn
did.
stole the win.
Hello, people.
Yep, 7-0.
I hate y'all.
Spoiler.
You knew Sami Zayn was going to steal the win. We just talked about this. Never mind. You know what? Some people like football, baseball, and basketball, and others like boxing, volleyball, and bowling. But here, all sports matter. We'll see y'all next week. We out.